All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem Shai, by Hashem Kakudash. I'm gonna try to make this relatively brief, and I'm gonna try to stay as calm as possible while making this, because I do know when people get passionate and they start yelling and they, really get into the topic that they're speaking about, people can get turned off and start disregarding the message simply based on the delivery. So I'll try to remain as calm as possible, even though it's going to be a few things that kind of upset me. Reason why I know I should be making this video, because I just tried to make this video and it wasn't working. My screen recorder wasn't working for some reason. I'm on this old ass phone till I can replace it. So I turned it off. I turned it back on. I told the Lord, like, if it don't work, then you don't want me to make this video. I'm doing something wrong. Needless to say, I tried the screen recorder again after turning it back on, and it's working. So obviously he wanted me to make this video. And again, I hope all my videos, any topic, I got a couple other pages, I'm always jumping back and forth. But I'm hoping that each video that goes out there and people listen to it, I hope that people take it sincerely. It's not coming from a place of, this is how I feel, this is my own personal bias. It's coming from a place of facts and, documentation, what's documented. So I'm going to let them speak, and then I'm going to stop it.
Probably end up being of various topics, but one topic we do want to discuss is, these other Israelite groups, in particular, coming to GMS. The latest was Sakari, and I don't know what that was all about,
Now, the first point I want to make is the Elder Gabar said these other Israelite groups coming to GMS, in particular Sakari. Me personally, recently, I haven't seen any Israelite camps come to GMS other than Sakari. So it's already coming from a place of like facetiousness. You don't want to come out and just say like, hey, this is a video about the Sakari. You said like these other Israelite groups coming to GMS, in particular Sakari. There's no other Israelite. IUIC hasn't come up to GMS recently. ISGBK, I haven't seen it. That's not something that's happened. We know that Sakari just ran into GMS LA. And what I thought was nothing wrong about it. So that's one thing I want to start off with. Make your point like a man. If you want to get on Sakari for something that they did, just come out straight with it. Like, hey, this is a video going in on Sakari because they just came up to GMS recently. Don't go around, beat around the bush. These other camps coming up to GMS, in particular Sakari. It's only Sakari that did it recently. So we know who you're talking about. Come on, man. Say it with your chest.
Coming to them brothers in LA. Few brothers spoke on it. Bishop Sakran, he's like them dogs on I Am Legend.
Yeah.
He's waiting for that sun to go down.
Yeah.
He's about to jump all over it.
Yeah, because the Lord said he's looking for laborers, for this. He said that the harvest was ripe. It was ready to, and he said, but there's not enough laborers. So the Lord's looking for laborers, man. It's what is it? What they did had no sound, no meaning to it. Nobody got edified, by what they did. No one knows their intention. What was their intention?
Okay, he said no one got edified. GMS, as I'm sure all of you have known through the years, they have taught, meaning of words, go into the meanings of words and things like that. It's beautiful that they taught that, because that's the camp that I got it from. Etymology Online, going and breaking down words and things like that. He said no one got edified. When you look at the video, there were tons of people that was like, beautiful. Brotherhood, this is beautiful, And the word edify means to build up. So if people are on the comment board saying, positive comments, I'm sure they were built up. They were edified to give a positive feedback. Now, am I saying it's the end all be all? Like GMS and Sakari are going to squash their differences? No, but like you said, like there was nothing good that came of it. Okay, well, GMS members run into other camps all the damn time and they salute them and keep it moving. They say shalom and keep it moving. So what is the problem if Sakari does the same thing? I swear. And I said in the beginning, I'm trying to not yell and not be super passionate about it, but I swear GMS is the only camp that feels like if you don't come how they coming, then you're wrong. Which, this is why I gotta say that they're hypocrites, because also at the other end, out the other side of their mouth, they say, you don't have to be a part of GMS to be a part of the elect. They'll say, shalom to the affiliate camps that are like us. A GMS is just a title. If you have the doctrine of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, GMS is just a name. But at the same way, if you're not coming how they coming, then it's like if you don't say lamb back, if you still say piggyback or something, then you going off. If you don't say B'Shem Rakakwadash, then you going off. If you don't come exactly how they coming in they blueprint, then you going off, which that's not scriptural. Because then Yahweh Shai said, matter of fact, let me get that. Let me get a scripture. We're going to pull a scripture. And I haven't watched that full video that we're watching right now. I literally watched like the first 3 minutes and I said, I gotta make a video. And this is the spirit, because I wanted to get one of these scriptures too. But let me see. Let me see. Scattereth. As a matter of fact, I don't think this is the right scripture. I want to get damn. If I put in thy name, then it should pop up. Oop, it's a lot. And like I said earlier, I'm coming with all sincerity, but it's just like, at the end of the day, GMS has changed over the years, and there's no better person to ask than someone who's outside of GMS, who has followed them religiously, daily. I know everything I know, and I attribute over 95% of what I know to GMS, because I've literally ate, slept, and breathed what they put out on the internet. Fell asleep to it, woke up to it. I'm watching it while I'm eating. I'm watching it while I'm sleeping. I'm watching it while I'm in the shower. I remember meeting Alazar for the first time, or, not even for the first time, but just meeting him again after I'd been in the truth for a while. And he pointed me out and showed, like, his younger members an example. Like, look, he watches these videos. He fall asleep to these videos. And you've been in the truth longer than him, but he above you already. He did that. Now, he may not have knew that I was watching and learning from GMS, but he could see from when I first started dealing with them in 2017 to like 2018, 2019, he's seen like a huge increase. I'm pulling up scriptures just because they mentioned one word. Oh, that's in this book. And I'm pulling it up. But he had members in his camp that was just passing out flyers for 5 years and still ain't on the level. He seen me go from this pupil to a year and a half later. Damn. And I attribute that to GMS because, like I said, I've watched them. So that's why I said it's no better person to ask if they've changed or not. Me. You ask somebody in GMS, they not going to see it because they're blindly following. Apostle Tahar always speaks about IUIC having zombies, ISGBK having zombies. GMS has some fucking zombies and some flunkies. Some fucking flunkies. Straight up flunkies. You know, who just hold post. 7 years holding post, but you in GMS. Ain't said a word on camera. And I've seen those guys. I've seen them. You know? If anything, nigga, be a helper. Get some water or something. You holding post, you up there right next to the speaker, but you know, you don't know no scriptures. You can't pull no scriptures. So I've seen the change. And it's noticeable. And when you get called out on it, it's like you can't pull that same stuff that you was pulling with Nazariah. Rebuke not an elder. You can't pull those things because it's done got clear and cleared that you going off on certain things. And GMS does go off. I would love anytime GMS corrects another camp and a camp responds, GMS will show them, okay, you went off on this, and they'll go into the scripture, they'll break it down. When I'm the only person calling out GMS, telling them you're going off on this, you went off on that. They're not gonna deal with it because they can't. The biggest issue is Abraham and Sarah. Now you had one guy who I'm not gonna say he was on a low level, but like it's clear like he was kind of newish into the truth. But even he, I think he's GMS, even he could break down that Abraham and Sarah were not blood brother and sister. Yet his elders who created GMS, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, and Bishop Sakaran are on video. I have the video saying that Abraham and Sarah are blood brother and sister. They committed the act of incest. Gabar chimed in and said it was okay because it wasn't written on stone. It was before Moses. Sakaran said, well, yeah, the Lord allowed that at that time. But yeah, you can't do that now. No, you can't do that now. What? If the Lord allowed incest at the time, why he didn't allow murder when Cain and Abel did it? When Cain slew Abel, why he didn't allow murder? It wasn't written on stone. The fact that the Pharaoh at the time, or the king, whoever it was, I forgot his name, at the time, questioned Abraham on, hold on, you said that this is your sister, but this really your wife? The fact that he even questioned that shows you that blood brother and sister was not supposed to be together, and even other nations knew about it. That's why Abraham had to go back and clarify how they were related. I got a whole video breaking that down, and yet, as of 10 months ago, Apostle Tahar is still breaking it down that Abraham and Sarah are blood brother and sister. He hasn't corrected himself. He hasn't repented and said, yo, I'm sorry. You know, I went off. I was going off. Gabar ain't come out and said, yeah, I went off. Sakaran ain't come out. Oh, yeah, I was going off because I'm a yes man. I just went with what they said. Perfect example of them being a yes man. If you really watch the apostles and watch their lives, you'll see how Elder Tahar was recently, as recently as maybe 6 months ago, or whenever Apostle Ramlab was last there, they was talking about the creation of hip hop and how it's discussion of if Jake came up with it by themselves or was the Puerto Ricans, was Ephraim helping too. Of course, Apostle Ramlab, he took the stance of Fat Joe. Yeah, we was there. Apostle Tahar was like, nah, man, nah, it was just Jake. Apostle Ramlab completely dropped his stance and just like, well, yeah, you're right. Didn't hold his ground. They're a bunch of yes men. They're a bunch of yes men. And it's been evident. He always says, like, you know, there's no leadership in the IUIC. There's just a leader. There's no leadership in the GMS. It's a well-known fact. El Zahar is the leader. He jokingly referred to himself as T-God, you know, which was a joke. But I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on over there. And when you talk about it, they'll dismiss it and say, you know, after the second and third admonishment, you know, cast him out as a heathen man or shake off the dust of thy feet. Like, oh, we don't have to deal with that. What the fuck? Don't you have to defend the gospel? Craziness, hypocrisy. Let me see. Let me find it. Salaki, I have to find it. Okay. Here we go. Mark 9:38. And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name. So somebody was casting out demons in the name of Yahushua. And he followed us not. And we forbade him because he followed us not. But Yahushua said, forbid him not. For there is no man which shall do a miracle in thy name that can likely speak evil of me. For he that is not against us is on our part. So just because you ain't under the name of GMS or under this certain ABC camp, or don't mean that you are wicked or not part of the elect. It don't mean that. But let GMS tell it. It's damn near like if you ain't doing everything exactly to the T, how they doing it, then you going off. And you can see clearly right here, there were men who knew the name of Yahushua, they had the belief, but they didn't directly follow him. They probably followed other disciples of his that he sent out. And maybe his close disciples, they didn't know it. All they knew was they seen him. It's just like if you in Babylon and you might see a brother who maybe he don't look like he's a part of GMS, meaning he might be walking around the street with fringes on, but he do a miracle or something. You can't say, "Ah, man, this nigga ain't part of GMS. He wicked. Satan was with him to do that." No. This man wasn't directly following Yahushua, but in the spirit, he was following Yahushua. He was a part of the body of Yahushua. He might not have been part of the top part of the body. You know, he might not have been the heartbeat, you know, or the neck or the ear or the eye or a huge important part of the body, but he was yet still a part of the body. GMS is making it seem like, look, if you ain't a part of GMS, you wicked and you're going to be destroyed and you're a 2/3. You feel me?
Attention, you know. So, you know, they didn't do anything.
Yeah, a couple of people, video I did to add to what you're saying.
Yeah.
A couple of people put a comment saying, yeah, it was, I guess they saw it and said it looked like intimidation, you know?
Intimidation. Those brothers in GMS LA, you can say that they looked intimidated. I don't know, you know. And I know the leader of that LA camp, I've met him twice. You know, he probably gonna pull a what's the name? A Gabar Yahawada out of Hawaii and say he don't remember me, which that's fine. You know, it was a long time ago. I believe it was like 2018 or 2019. I met him on a couple occasions when he was part of like the bigger camp. Now he got like a smaller camp, and you can clearly see he's the leader. You know, beautiful brother. He, you know, he was on point when he was bringing out the scriptures. He was on point in LA when I seen him. They was doing their thing. So for you to say that some people commented and saying it was intimidation, well, how many times in the scriptures does it speak about boldly proclaiming this and boldly proclaiming that? Hold on. I spelled that completely wrong, so like it. If you on the streets and you getting intimidated, and I done been out there by myself for years, by myself, me, signs, and a camera, and a knife on me, just in case, you know, I've been out there by myself. And at first, of course, it's intimidating. But like after that, you really tap into it. So for people on the comment board, obviously, they've never been out there. They never done nothing in person for real. So you might say like, oh, it looks intimidating. You mean to tell me if Sakari pulls up, it's intimidating. But if the police pull up who can actually arrest you, Edomite cops who can actually shoot you, all right, they can enhance the situation or make the situation worse. That's not intimidating. It's brothers just standing there listening. Brothers with fringes on, or Zeeks or whatever. Brothers who actually call on the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. Now, whether you determine that they're part of the elect, whether you say, hey, y'all don't got the same doctrine as us, they're still Israelites in the faith. And I'm not saying, the scriptures say, like, trust not every brother, or believe not every brother, or every brother shall ultimately subvert. I'm paraphrasing some of these scriptures. So, of course, you don't just trust everybody, but it's like, come on, you got a camera. They obviously recording. What is there to be intimidated about? He didn't roll up and say, fuck y'all rapists, niggas, and pedophiles. He ain't say none of that. I watched the video. Acts 9:29. And he spake boldly in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai. You got Wisdom of Solomon. Speaks about those who stood so stiffly for the name. So how the fuck that's gonna be intimidation? You feel me? You supposed to be able to put your head in the guillotine and they say, take the mark of the beast, or we're gonna cut your head off. That's more intimidating than just Alizar standing right there. I've been around him multiple occasions. And like I said, he knew I was under the vibration of GMS. He never came at me wrong, never called me a rapist. All right? Never did anything of that sort. Now, the only thing I can say, Dick Hakah, he did kind of get on me and say, hey, don't be going out there and you getting drunk and going out there trying to preach, because that's what GMS do. I can't speak towards that. I've never been like in a GMS camp to speak if that's what they do or not. But apparently that's what he said that GMS does. That's neither here nor there. Like I said, all the brothers that I knew in Sakari, I've had it to where Sakari members who knowingly knew like I was, damn near under the same act as GMS. They can hear it in the way that I speak, the way that I was kind of isolated from everybody. They came up there when I was solo by myself and taught with me. Only thing is they had to take off their Sakari shirts just to make it, political, but like just randomly on the spot, just pulled up. And I got the video of that still to this day. And it was a beautiful lesson. So this whole thing about intimidation, I don't know how the fuck that's going to intimidate you if you in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. How the fuck is another man going to intimidate you? Especially a man that calls on the same God as you. That's a weak argument.
Yeah. So, and you said that.
Yeah, because, why else? Because, the 70, it's like a few of them I count. How many, but it was a small little contingent of the Sakari brothers out there, and my thing was, why, for what? Now I can understand if y'all said shalom, whatever, and
that's exactly what they said. They stood there, they listened for however long. At the end, they said shalom, shook up, and Alizar said, keep doing what y'all doing. What's the big problem? Now I said I'm not going to get passionate. I said I'm going to try to keep this short. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this last scripture, make a last point, and I'm going to close it. Because this, like I said, this is 3 minutes into the video, and you can see that they are chasing it. Y'all want something to talk about. That wasn't even nothing to talk about other than, okay, some people felt like it was brotherhood. It was unity. It was good. Y'all ultimately at the end of the day don't agree doctrine wise, but it's not like Sakari was saying, yo, we pushing peace. Of course they have their own thing, brotherhood over breakdown. That's their thing. They didn't say, hey brother, market or advertise these shirts for me. They ain't do that. They walked up, listened, said shalom, and said, keep doing what you're doing. How about Shemal Shai Brakatah? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? You niggas, I'm say nigga. You niggas look for any and everything to make contention with. You bring up all these scriptures, you're straining at a gnat. That's what this is. But at the same breath, you'll pull out a scripture and say, if at all possible, live peaceable amongst all men. That's exactly what the brothers did. They just stood there and listened. And at the end said, Shalom. What the hell is the fucking problem? Chasing it. That's exactly what you're doing. You might not agree with them sitting down with vocab. Guess what? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. The same way I don't agree with that, I would ask El Zahar, well, did you agree with yourself going into the Jehovah's Witnesses church back then? Did you agree with yourself going into the universities trying to do that back then? So if it's not okay to do it now, why was it okay to do it back then? That's the only point that I would bring up. But me personally, I don't have a damn thing to say to vocab. He an Edomite until proven otherwise. So I'm not going to sit up there and say like, yeah, I super condone Sakari sitting down with them. But at the end of the day, they didn't do no harm. What the scripture just say that I brought up? What scripture was that? I done forgot the whole scripture. Yeah, that was Luke 9:50. And Yahushua said unto him, forbid him not, for he that is not against us is for us. At the end of the day, them sitting down with vocab, if they not going off, which I didn't hear anything that they went off on. They didn't say heathens can make it. They didn't say, oh, vocab, you're right. There is an eternal conscious hell. They didn't say none of that. They stood on their position. Captain Tazama, I believe I met him multiple times. He, even at the opening statement, said, look, I understand we're going to leave this whole thing the same way we came in. You're not going to be converted because, number one, you're not an Israelite. And I'm definitely not going to fall into that Christianity bullshit. And ultimately, for the people that's watching, maybe they going to stay on the same side as they are. But maybe if one joined, then that's a W. But at the end of the day, they defended the gospel. So what is the problem? They wasn't against you. They wasn't against Yahushua. They taught Yahushua, which is the word. So what is the fucking problem? And this is the hypocrisy that I'm talking about. Because GMS met up with Polite. Met up with Sarnetta. Didn't you bring Dr. Khalid Muhammad or whatever his name is into the school? Didn't you do that? Was that wickedness? Me personally, I'm going to say no, it's not wickedness. It's not wickedness to reach for our people. So you can't sit up there and say, them niggas is going off for sitting down with vocab. You can say you wouldn't condone it. I don't condone it. But at the end of the day, it's a video epistle. It's a video debate or a conversation that's going out. How you going, Elder Tahar and whoever, they said what they said about sitting down with vocab, but Elder Tahar was enjoying the Captain Tazariak and the one dude. He actually said, like, y'all should have a debate. So get on one accord. Is it wicked or is it not? According to the scripture, it's not wicked. Hold on, come on, man. Because I remember years ago, certain brothers in GMS, they would always say, like, brothers really need to start, like, equating the scriptures with real life. Like, use the scripture, use what it says in real life. Well, the scriptures say debate thy cause. The scripture says debate thy cause. Don't the scripture say be ready to give an answer to any man? About the hope that is within you, roughly paraphrasing. So it's like, look, y'all damn near are content creators at this point, Yeah, look at Sakari. They sitting down with vocab. Look, say what you want to say about him and then move on. This whole thing about like, oh, what the fuck? At the end of the day, if Oprah Winfrey called GMS to go on Oprah Winfrey show, y'all gonna do it. And you know why you gonna do it? Cause it's gonna go out towards the whole world, and people gonna see. It's a big platform. So if what they was doing was so wrong, get the fuck off YouTube altogether. They didn't let vocab in and say, hey, vocab, you know, you're an Israelite now, Shalom, and blah, 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 blah. If anything, they dealt with him like, what's his name? Like Paul did with Agrippa. Right? He used guile. That's exactly what they did. What is the big problem? Man. This last scripture that I'm going to bring out. Oh, my God. And the Apostle Tahari used this scripture all the time. All the time. Now, where is it at? Matter of fact, I just put with all men. It's going to put me to a lot of scriptures, but it's all right. Romans 12 and 18. And why did he send this to the Romans? Because we was amongst the Edomites. All right? We was in a fucked up position amongst them. Romans 12, 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. The brothers from Sakari pulled up GMS LA. Oh, damn, this is where GMS be at. Okay, let's, we just gonna. Now, what if they pulled up there and y'all was going off or something? And what if y'all actually had like a back and forth? What if Sakari said, oh, we see it that way now? I'm not saying that that's probable. I'm not saying that's even possible. All I'm saying is Romans 12 and 18. They wasn't on nothing. All right, they didn't come up with ill intentions. They didn't come up here with T-shirts calling you rapists and shit like that. Now, in the past, of course, they've said those things. And I don't fuck with that. Now, they've been saying that for a while. 2017, though, Al-Azhar went up to New York and saw El Tahar in person. What was the issue with that? The point is, GMS and Sakari have both talked bad about each other. And that's facts. It's documented. It's on YouTube. I'm not saying kumbaya and shit like that, but at the end of the day, what happened? Sakari walked up. GMS was going in. He let them finish. He said, oh, y'all doing good. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Rashad Barakatah. Keep up the good work or something like that. And then they walked off. What is the big fucking deal?